always a good idea. So, good afternoon. Oh, I'm on mute. That's not good. Okay, so good afternoon, LinkedIn. Hello, Dr. Nice. Thank you for joining me. This is an audio talk that I wanted to do because I set out yesterday a ebook, which actually I developed with AI using ChatGPT. And I'm going to be talking to you about understanding the landscape, aligning AI with your business objectives, customization, and continuous learning and adaptation. So, in short, rather than give a normal style lecture, forgive my voice, I've been talking a lot, but I'm going to share what I've been doing with my brand, Healthy Secrets, and hopefully that will give you a bit of an insight into where I think we, as business leaders, founders, startup people here on TikTok, because this is going out to my global community, how we need to think about artificial intelligence. And I'm going to focus more on the positive side because I think that's so important. A lot of media will look at the negatives, but I will look at the positives and just share my story, basically, how I'm using AI. So, one of the reasons, so understanding the landscape, whenever you, I think, look at new technology and you want to get to understand for how to use it first. I mean, ChatGPT has been out over a year now, and I've just started to use ChatGPT Model 4, mainly for marketing purposes. So that's where I think a lot of power is, not just content creation, but also business strategy. Now, one of the fundamental flaws, okay, with understanding the landscape is what particular AI tools do I use in my business. Now, this can vary because ChatGPT has got a lot of plugins which I've started to use, experiment. You can create, even CapCut have got a really good rich, which is the video software used at TikTok own, which is ByteDance. That's really good. And I think for me as a humble budding entrepreneur, but also a thought leader, I look at content creation first, yes, but things like on a daily basis where I do a lot of writing, I use spell checking facility and feedback and tone of writing and clarity, which is all very good in terms of publication because I have a big footprint online. I have a lot of publications, and I think sometimes when it's new technology and AI is here to stay, everybody has a different mindset. So I think what mindset you have depends on how you understand the landscape, if that makes sense. Because, I'm a former business studies teacher, and the mindset I used to take with my students when I was designing lessons is always try to encourage them to start their own business. Some of you folks are watching this live here on TikTok. I can see you. Well, I can see your names. And that's great because when I was a teacher, we didn't have a lot of rich AI landscape. It wasn't really there. So now we've got ChatGPT, generative AI content creation. And in short, if I remember rightly, a short Harvard Business Review article kind of framework the different AI tools. The tools that me and you use, okay, which is everyday person, are tier one. Tier one is just your average generative AI tools, CapCut, what I've been saying basically. Tier two and tier three work on a different basis because that's what the B2B brands, business to business, that's what they use their own data and they build their own models based on the API of, from example, OpenAI, which is the founder of ChatGPT. So that's really point number one. You understand the landscape by number one, your profession and your level of expertise. For me, I'd say pretty, as the saying goes, pretty clued up and knowledgeable about artificial intelligence. But I look at the strong points rather than the negatives. I know that ChatGPT is based on a word embedding system, which is good. It's got flaws, and the same as if you are, I've got your raise a hand. I'm gonna just try to bring you in, Doctor. Give me a moment. Hello, oh, you're on mute, Doctor. You can speak. So, because you had a move to listening. Okay, yeah, I'm just having a few technical problems here. I'm not sure how you do this. Okay, anyway, I'll continue the conversation, but apologies for that. So, sorry, Doctor, did I get you on that? Allowed to speak. I'll try again. I've definitely pressed it. Yeah, you're on mute, Doctor. I think you have to unmute and you can speak. Oh, it's gone back again. You have to unmute yourself, Doctor, and you can speak. I don't know what's going wrong here. Anyway, folks, technical problems. When I've not so strange. But I'll continue talking, otherwise it's just going to erupt the conversation. Would have been nice to listen to you, Doctor, but I'll move on to number 2, aligning AI with business objectives. Okay. Looking at my humble business setup, Healthy Secrets, is an interesting one because on the one hand, I feel it's more than a startup. Okay, Healthy Secrets is my official company, even though on TikTok, as you can see, it is just a name, but it is a company and it's a health and fitness brand. What does it do? Effectively, health Healthy Secrets provides resources, videos. You see my videos on TikTok, educational white papers and stuff on LinkedIn to promote healthy well-being and to lower global suicide by 30% by the year 2030. Now, can artificial intelligence, is the question, or generative AI as it were, can that help me succeed in that campaign? Of course it can. And do I actively need it? Yes, of course I do. That matters because I'm one person at the moment. I'm at the wheel. I'm at the ship. I've got a big ship. Okay, I've got a big digital footprint, but equally I've got a lot to do. And I know that if I'm going to succeed in my mission, Healthy Secrets, in even getting close to lowering global suicide by a little bit, I'm going to need the power of artificial intelligence. And that really matters because AI can be used in so many different ways. I'm only using tier 1. In the future, I hope to jump to tier 2 when I get more resources, build a team, etc. But it takes time. And that moves me on to number 3, which is how basically I customize it and apply generative AI. Now, last night, for example, I was using ChatGPT Model 4, okay, and using the different plugins. I have started to design a new, very soft social media platform using OpenAI's API. So I think when we talk about AI and business development, I mean, business development is more about sales and marketing. I was using ChatGPT last night, literally, to kind of um, grow grow my expertise in understanding how I can use my LinkedIn platform to build a sales funnel that's going to basically allow me to grow brand partners. Because when you start a business, you need brand partners, and I think that's so important. So yeah, so that's basically number 3, and I'll move on to number 4 before I try and bring it all together. I didn't want to do a long live today because you can talk on AI for hours, but I think the point is we're all still learning about artificial intelligence and how we embed it. And if you want to learn more information, those that follow me on LinkedIn, TikTok community, jump on LinkedIn and start your personal brand. If you want to grow a business, start a new career, there is a an ebook that I designed late last night, that's pretty good for anybody, any business development manager, marketer that wants to expand and grow their knowledge at least and build a framework about all the conversation that I had today. It goes into a lot more detail. It's 6 pages, but it's pretty good. It's comprehensive and it's free. So it's there for you on that basis. So, and I think number four, to kind of shortly wrap up a little bit, when we talk about generative AI and business development, like your sales, your marketing, trying to grow your brand, as it were, brand building, you need to continuously learn and adapt. Now, I experiment on LinkedIn and TikTok a lot with my video content and my text articles because I'm using different systems of AI. So, and I do that in a way that I look at my data from my platforms. I see it's not really all about what's working because I think sometimes we can stay on that zone of, okay, right, I'm just going to do this because it's been working before and I want to go viral. I know a lot of people here on TikTok want to go viral, which is important and it's good and the feeling is good, but it's not really sustainable and you're not really building what I'd say a true brand identity, which I've been talking a lot about in my newsletters on LinkedIn. So that's important. And I think what we need to understand really is how do we build upon our brand, what we're offering, and bring in generative AI to kind of, okay, right, we've got a really good brand here. We've got these offerings. This is the size of the market. And now we're going to push through and make an actual offer. So we still need to get to frameworks, but we won't be able to enhance the main framework we use to build our brand without actually saying to ourselves, you know what, this is what I need to do. We need to keep going on experiments, as in social media experiments or data analysis. And I've been finding a really good time management system where I'm not being ultra busy. I'm focusing on the most important tasks that's going to help build my brand and to make everything work. And for me today, that was just about listening to a podcast and learning about health more because the brand is called Healthy Secrets. I need knowledge. So it's continuous learning on that side. But also, I'm learning more about generative AI. Like last night, I was experimenting to see how far I can push the capability of building a really good ebook using different generative AI tools. And I did that as an experiment, even though it's brand building. I put the name Healthy Secrets on the ebook. It went out last night and it's done all professional. It took me a couple of hours because I was trying to see if I could push AI to build a bigger ebook. It couldn't because I used up all the letters. So even though I'm paying for that service, it was at its full capability. And being a former business studies teacher, I know how to craft ebooks, white papers, that kind of stuff, and push it out onto my global network. So it was an interesting one last night. I was a bit tired, but I wanted to do it to experiment. And I think pushing forward with generative AI, we all need to understand, okay, right, what does this actually mean for my business model, or our business model? What can we experiment? What type of experiments can we do? What's the data saying? What the data might say, okay, because you're looking at different viewpoints, and then trying to shape your business and push your brand that way. Of course, you need performance marketing, brand building capabilities, activities, as in create content. But equally, generative AI is here to help you make it less stressful, more enjoyable by pushing your creativity to a new level, which I'm using, for instance, on template building, which is really good. And that's really everything that I'm doing at the moment, or from last night till this podcast today. That's kind of where I've been going. So in a week's time, things would have changed because I'm always adapting my mindset and software capabilities. The ones that I purchase, I don't have a huge budget. I'm on a tight shoestring budget, but I make it work for myself because I'm using the power of scale, as in a global footprint. LinkedIn is a global community, and I've got a good following, a good trust build. I've got several newsletters. I've got access to a lot of tools. a lot of data, and I've got access to a lot of software. So you put those two and two together, that's a pretty powerful package. So, and that's what sometimes I do with LinkedIn, even though it's not, the algorithm's not working for me at the moment, where it's not really giving me good views for my content. And that's okay because I understand how the metrics work in social media. Every platform goes through cycles where it's generous, not generous. And sometimes you just have to keep going on that road. And I think a lot of you say, oh, I want viral, want to earn lots of money. Business development and generative AI don't work in that same framework. You build brand first using your own skills, and you bring up generative AI to increase on that capability. And then you keep looking at the data until something works. And even that's got a shelf life. So you're always continuing, you're always adapting. Anyway, I think I've spoken long enough and deep enough, and I know this has gone out to Facebook as well. So hopefully this will help somebody start a business and entice people to learn more about generative AI. It is here to stay. It will get bigger and better. There are dangers, but with good collaboration and safety tools, as it were, we can shape a new world of business development. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to LinkedIn because there was only one doctor who was there and I wasn't able to let him speak for some reason. But TikTokers, thanks again for joining me. Yeah, I'll say goodbye to you folks. Anyway, have a great day. Okay, Facebook and what other people I've communicated. I'm going to shoot off now and go to the gym. So I see you when I see you, folks. Bye for now.